Benvenuti a tutti and welcome to another episode of Taste This with Frank Gallo. Tonight I'm going to teach you how to make Mamma Gallo's amazing, perfect pizza dough. If the dough isn't right, then the pizza can't be right. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you just how to do it. It's really easy. Here we go. Okay, so we're going to start by adding our 2 cups of warm water. 2 cups of warm water. We're going to add our salt, 2 tablespoons of salt. Mix it in. Come in with just a little bit of our 00 flour. Just start mixing it in here. Not a lot. Okay, now at this time, add just a little more flour, about another tablespoonful. And now we're going to add our 1/8 of a teaspoon of yeast. And mix it in really good. Now I have this all sped up for you for time saving purposes, but I'm really mixing this very well. It's really the key to your success with the dough. Now we're going to add in a little bit more flour. As you add more and more flour, keep mixing. The dough will form and you'll have the perfect mixture. And now that we've added the final dough, just a little more mixing, and then what we're going to do is cover it with a towel, wait 5 minutes, come back and give it a final knead. That will be the last process before the 16-hour rest. Okay, so 5 minutes have passed. We're going to come over here, come back here, and just give it another knead. Just a little bit more kneading. Point, I can really feel the texture of the dough getting to where I really need it to be. Time to add the olive oil, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and mix it into the dough. It's going to give it that silky feel, and it's going to give it a great texture. Perfect. It's just perfect. Look at that. Fantastic. Now what I want to do is cover it with saran wrap and try to give it a nice airtight seal if possible. Get it as tight as you can. It's going to sit like this, covered at room temperature for 16 hours. Did you subscribe yet? What are you waiting for? We need you to subscribe so that we can continue to bring you all of these great recipes. Subscribe now and smash that like button. It's really important. Okay, so it's been 16 hours and our dough has risen. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Okay, so let's take a look and see what we have here. Okay, it looks pretty good. Now that I uncovered it, slightly overhydrated. We're looking for a 65% hydration level here. This looks a little bit more like 75 to 80%, but that's an easy fix. We'll take it out of the bowl with a spatula here, just loosening it up from the side walls of the bowl. We'll turn it over, pop it out onto the wood. And there you can see that overhydration, but easily fixed by adding a little flour, so it's not a problem. The texture is pretty decent though. You see it's not sticking to my hands. I'll cut it in half just so it's a little easier to work with. And now I'll start to add my flour to each piece. Just a little bit. It needs very little, maybe a pinch of flour. Now you'll see I'm just adding a pinch and then I just start to knead that flour in and it comes out to the perfect texture. So it was really just slightly overhydrated. There you can see once I've added that flour, no need to add any more there. Continue to knead it out like this. Now I'm going to give it the elasticity test. I put my finger in there and I poke it in, and if it comes right back out, it's pretty much ready. And there you go. Now what we need to do is turn it into multiple dough balls that we can use to make individual pizzas. So what I do is I put a little flour here on the wooden board, and I'm going to start to elongate it a little bit, just like that. And I'm going to start to try to make a ball. And what we're using here is a technique called the tuck and pinch method, or you can even just roll it on the board here. You just want to get an evenly sized ball, and you want to try to make each dough ball approximately the same size. This is not a pizzeria where we're weighing or measuring the ball. We're just going to make it for home use. So try to make them around the same size. You need to add a little bit to it. Go right ahead. Not a big deal. And there you go. You can see the tuck and pinch method is working pretty good. And you just want to make sure it's nice, tight tuck There you go. You just pinch it at the bottom there, ready to go. And you're going to make a few of these now. This should turn out about 5 or 6 dough balls. Now that we've got our dough balls set up, we're going to put flour in a pan or any container and place the dough balls side by side in the pan. Cover it with a plastic paper saran wrap. Try to get it nice and airtight. And we're going to let it sit like this for 2 hours. Guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Taste This with Frank Gallo, Mamma Gallo's perfect pizza dough. Now stay tuned for our next episode. We're going to actually make that beautiful pizza with that dough. I want to thank you all for watching this episode. I want to ask you to please like and subscribe to my channel. It's really important so that I can continue to bring you all of Mama's great recipes. And more important than anything else in this world, most important thing in the world, I love you, Mama. 100 anni salute.